Hey, you guys. How's things? Okay, so I've been working on a bunch of journals. What else is new? Reader's Digest. So these are all covers, Reader's Digest covers that when I gutted them, the spines were like really, dry and brittle and cracking apart and stuff. So I just set the covers aside, and some of them I used when I did the like Reader's Digest lap books a while ago. But so I saved all these just to rebuild spines on them, and yeah, make into some kind of like naked journals, I guess. I just think that that's kind of my thing lately. It's just making like naked journals and not really doing a lot of embellishing on them. And that helps keep the cost down, helps me make more journals a little quicker. And, anyway, so I'm just kind of flipping through them just so you guys can see how cool they are, because they're so cool. I love Reader's Digest. I love the covers. So there's two of these. Sorry, my lighting is kind of weird. I'm trying to figure out how to get my lighting just right since I rearranged my whole studio. So I think there's two of this one too. Anyway, so there's 22 of these. So I'm working on those, but what I wanted to do was make some, I want to do some pockets. Oh, so I've sorted out all my fabric stuff, okay? Like really sorted it out. So it took me quite a while. I thought I had already sorted it, but then I sort of realized that I hadn't really actually sorted it. Anyway, so I really sorted it now. And so I wanted to offer you guys some bundles. And I thought I would just kind of show you what I'm planning to do with the journals and talk about the little bundles at the same time. So what I want to do is just make some pockets, some fabric pockets that will go just on the inside, front and back cover. And then I also want to do like a, oh, what do you call it? Oh my God, like a strip that would cover up the spine after I stitch the signatures in, like a snippet roll kind of thing on using carpet tape, and so I want to put that on after I stitch the signatures in, because first of all, that stuff is really hard to stitch through because it's so sticky, the carpet tape. So I'm going to just put that on over the stitching once I get the signatures in. And so those I just want to do with like scraps of fabric and stuff, and so I'll probably wind up doing like 20 feet or something, and then just cut it to fit the spine. Anyway, so that's what I'm doing. And so I thought it would be kind of fun if I put together some bundles of fabric for you guys that you could use to make pockets. And so what I'm doing is, well, not that one, but so I'm using envelopes. I just cut a pretty large envelope in half, and then I've just glued fabric on the front of it, and now I'm gonna do some embellishing on these, and use these in the in the journals. So these happen to be pieces that I don't remember where they came from, but they were already cut into like a 5-inch square. So but some of them are really cool, different old fabrics. So those I'm using, but I'm gonna do some like clusters and things like that, and use some other little trims and stuff, and just kind of zhuzh up, as Wendy would say. I'm gonna zhuzh these up. That's hard to say. Anyway, so I'm doing that, and then as I was sorting through all my stuff in my drawers, I came across this pack of like templates that I'd had for a long time. And, you know, for like envelopes and boxes and, you know, paper boxes and paper pockets and things like that. And so I just kind of went, oh, that would be fun to play with. And I want to do maybe like some hidden paperclip pockets, you know. So I started working with those little templates and making some little pockets out of ledger paper that I can turn into little paper clips that I can stick into the journals. And so these I printed on the, I printed these out onto the ledger paper. But, you know, they could obviously be printed onto just about anything. But I thought that would be kind of fun to just do them on ledger. So I'm going to be using those. Here's some that I haven't cut out, but I just printed the shape onto. So what I thought would be fun, so those are all like pocket shapes. And then I also have envelopes, different shapes of envelopes. So there's this one. This is like a coin envelope. Actually, let me show you this. Wait, hold on. Hold the phone. Okay. So I basically just traced them out onto a piece of cardstock and then scanned it. And so this is what we wound up with. So I was able to get 4 envelopes. Look, this is a pocket. Yeah, that's a pocket. And then 3 envelopes onto a page. And then this is another like pocket that 2 of them fit on a page. And then this is that same, that's this one printed a little larger. And then this is more like a library pocket style pocket. Anyway, so those I'm going to be using, and I just have some different ways that I'm going to use these, like even just parts of them to use to embellish them. And I thought I would do some videos to kind of go along with this whole project. And I thought it would be kind of fun if you guys had some supplies to work along. And I know in the past I haven't been like super like, you know, detailed about my tutorials or whatever, because I just don't work that way. But I thought, you know, if you can see what I'm doing and it inspires you and you'd like to be able to, you know, create something similar, then I would like for you to have some supplies that would let you do that. So as I work through the next few videos, I think it would be fun if you guys could do some stuff with me. So anyway, so here's what I'm kind of offering. So I'm not going to list this on my Etsy shop, but I will provide to you via email. I'll just send you the file in an email of this page and this page, and then this is actually 2 images, so it'll be a total of 4 images, and then you can just print this 2 to a page to get that. And you can crop these out and, you know, print them off larger or smaller or whatever. I would ask that you please don't sell these. These are things that I've created, and I would appreciate if you didn't sell the digitals of those, okay? And you can print them off onto whatever you want, you know, and then just fussy cut them out, and it'll be fun. You'll see, we'll decorate them and stuff. Anyway, so you can create all those pockets and envelopes and work along with me. So I'm going to send you those. Those will be via email, like I said. And then let me move this out of the way. Let me just I'm going to show you some of the like boxes that I've got with the fabric and stuff, so that you get an idea of what I'll be using and what I'll be sending. So I'm just going to show you what I have. I haven't made bundles yet because I don't really like doing that until I know how many people want one, you know. So I've got a bunch of yo-yos that I can share. These are those little hexagon pieces that I've had for a long time, and I love them. I can share some of these in the bundles. And then these are just all pieces, like quilt pieces. These are all vintage fabrics that have been cut out already to use on a quilt. There's some butterflies that are already cut out. And then there's some yo-yos that I actually took apart and then just ironed flat. I'm going to be making more fabric pockets too, and I've mentioned this before, like months ago, that I had some ways of making fabric pockets that kind of make them a little bit easier. Anyway, but this is all like feed sack fabrics and other vintage fabrics. But you can see, you know, I've got plenty. These are some quilt tops that I will cut strips of. Lots more little quilt top pieces. Some of these are like squares, you know, or strips. So you're going to get like pieces of these. Okay, I'm not going to send out like a whole thing. It'll be pieces of this, right? So you can work with them. And then these are some of the quilt squares that those little hexagons create, that these have already been stitched together, hand stitched, okay, with a sewing needle. It's crazy. So I'll be kind of cutting some of these. I might send like a whole one of those, you know, in a bundle. Here's some more yo-yos. I've got more of the big quilt squares that are made from the hexagons. So I've got plenty of those to share. There's another little stack of pieces of quilt top. So I just wanted to show you, like, I'll make you a nice bundle, okay? If any of you have purchased bundles from me in the past, you know that I am pretty generous with this kind of stuff. So that's just one little, you know, box of stuff. And then here's another one. There's a bunch of lace in here. So pieces of lace, all kinds of trims, cool stuff. Some of this is newer. Some of these trims, like this leaf trim is new. So, you know, when I make up the bundles, what I do is I would just cut off like a piece about that big and send that, you know, and that gives me some kind of some leeway about, you know, what I can include in a bundle too. Like if I only have a little bit of one thing, I can share that with somebody rather than only using the things that I have like a large quantity of. You know what I mean? Like if I put the bundles together ahead of time, that I would have to be pulling things that were exactly the same and then cutting it into like 10 pieces and then saying, okay, I have, you know, then I would have to find things that I had enough of to spread out on 10 bundles. But it just makes it easier for me to make a really cool bundle for you if I have some freedom to just kind of pull out cool stuff to send you, you know, and that way it's kind of a surprise when you get it too. Yeah, so I just really think it works out good for all of us. And so I guess it's more like a grab bag kind of thing, but I want you to see sort of what you'll get. And then I've got, see, I told you I sorted things, guys. So then I've got, this is all rickrack in here, all just different sizes of rickrack. There is some pom-pom trim in here. I love pom-pom trim. It's so fun. So like this is new rickrack, obviously. This came from Hobby Lobby. And then I have a whole bunch of vintage rickrack in here too. So it's all tangly, but you know, it's not terrible. See some of the old cotton rickrack. I just love it. Anyway, so I'll put some rickrack in there, and it's just great for using like on the edge of a pocket or, you know, that kind of thing. And then let's see what else. And then there's this bin that is all filled with like different linens, different like table runners and things like that, things that are embroidered, you know. So what I'll do is, you know, I'll give you pieces that I think would make good bases for pockets. You know, like something like this, maybe I would cut this in half, you know, and this would give me a piece to put into 2 different bundles, you know, stuff like that, you know. And then some of this is some stuff that I got in Happy Mail, and then some of it I actually bought recently at a thrift store. So just lots of linens. A lot of it's, you know, pretty old. This one is beautiful, a little hanky. Some of those pockets that I've used. But yeah, so pieces of linen that are like embroidered or whatever. This thing is really cool. This is like a tea towel, but it's pretty big. I was thinking about just using this in the kitchen actually. Anyway, because it's red. My kitchen's kind of red. So this box is just full of all kinds of things like that. Isn't that pretty? I love this cross stitch or counted thread, or I don't know. Anyway, so that stuff, and then there's some smaller pieces over here, you know, like just little doilies and things. So I'll give you you know, a selection of that kind of stuff. And then these are all like pieces of linen. Like here's some, this is actually a really pretty linen. It's like a teal green color. This is a pair of overalls that I cut apart, and I had the scraps for it. Like old, like you could tell it was worn out in the garage, you know, it had like grease stains and stuff on it. Anyway, some more linen. This is really old linen that came from Louise. And then she had sent me, or I had bought from her, some nurses' dresses from like World War II. And so these are pieces from some of those dresses, dress, you know, like nurse uniforms, you know. So this is really beautiful linen. I've actually ironed these, but I have a whole other one, whole complete nurse's gown that I can cut apart too. Anyway, so that, and then this bin, I know, this is nuts. So this bin, I've got, hold on, hold the phone. So this is all just like printed fabrics, different cotton fabrics that I pulled and that I like, you know what I mean? Just, these are the things I like. And, you know, so some really colorful stuff, some more vintagey type of things. Like this is actually an apron. It's like a little apron, but I love the fabric. There's some newer fabrics, you know, like this, the Tim Holtz fabrics, things like that. See, like this one. This is some fabric from Karla that you probably have seen, because she uses it. She got like a whole roll of it or something, a whole bolt of it. But there's that kind of fabric, and then here's some more of those squares that I've been using already. And then kind of underneath all this is all feed sack. So I'll cut these up and send you like pieces from all of these different feed sacks. There's a bunch. They're all pretty much like red and pink and maybe some dark blue, you know, that kind of color scheme. And then there's some smaller pieces over here. That's all feed sack too. Okay. And then I also have a whole stack of vintage like sheets, vintage sheets. Okay, so these are all old cotton sheets. So this one is actually was new in the package, but it's a vintage sheet. It's really cool. So those, and so you'll get pieces from those, and these are really great to tear and make strips to tie around journals and that kind of thing. It tears perfectly straight, so that's really nice. So you get some of that. Isn't this fun, you guys? It's crazy. I can't believe. And then so much fabric went bye-bye. I just stuff that I just know I'll never use and nobody would ever want. So, but I saved all the good stuff. So then I've also got a whole stack of grain sacks, pieces of grain sack. So I'll be cutting these up and sending some small pieces of grain sack with these bundles. Karla inspired me on a recent video where she did the pockets on the fronts of the journal. Oh, actually it wasn't a pocket. It was just an image, like a portrait, like a cabinet card type image on the front of her journal that she was showing a flip through of. And I thought, and she said she was inspired by another channel, another journal maker, and I can't remember who it was, but I want to do something like that on these journals. So, but one of the layers that she used when she did that, that little, it's really cool. It's like a little image that's actually attached to the wraparound tie that goes on the journal. So it comes off when you untie the journal. Go watch Karla's video. You'll see what I'm talking about. I'll put a link to it in the description on this video. But anyway, she used a piece of grain sack in that little layer, and it just looks really cool. It's great to add just little pieces of it for texture, you know, and just for some variety. This is a linen table runner from Louise. Oh yeah, see, here's the other nurse's dress. She called them nightgowns, but I think they were nurses' uniforms. So anyway, so this one I've disassembled it at the seams. So so I have lots of that kind of fabric, and then of course I've got my junk journal salad. This is just all kinds of scraps of all kinds of things, right? Just all kinds of random things. There's some like cheesecloth type fabric, little offcuts of fabric. This is all strips of feed sack. And then this guy is all just pieces of ticking. So it's all in there. And then, I know, this is nuts. It's nuts, you guys. I'm telling you, it's nuts. And then this basket is full of, this is a tablecloth that I cut apart, and I just love all of the really pretty elements in it, like all the little flowers and things, you know, so I'll be using some of these and sharing some of those. This is a roll of gauze bandage. That's really useful. This is some cheesecloth. So pieces of lace, doilies. These are all like ruffles. These were sent to me in Happy Mail. A lot of those ruffles, a lot of these floral trims. These are pieces that I've cut apart. So I have a whole tablecloth of this made out of this motif right here. So every one of these bundles will definitely get a few of these. I've cut some apart already. And then also of this motif. So I don't have very many of these little guys, but they're really cute. And And this motif also, I've got a whole bunch. I've got like a half of a tablecloth made out of that motif, so I can share some of those too. So anyway, there's some black tulle ribbon. Oh God, there's just so much stuff in here, you guys. Some more lace trim, you know. Anyway, so this stuff, some of this stuff, some of this, some of that, you know, a little bit of everything. Yeah, see, this is that tablecloth that is just all, you know, those motifs, which are really cool. And I think these would make great pockets. And I'm going to show you some ways of using like the crochet lace stuff to make it a little bit more friendly for use in books, you know, spray starch. So, and then there's a couple of tablecloths that I can cut apart and send you some pieces from that also. So I'm going to do these bundles. So you'll get the digital, that'll come in an email. And if you don't have a printer, let me know and I can print those off for you and send you the printed, you know, like template, and that way you could trace it onto other paper or something like that. Like if you do that, I would recommend making tracing out a couple of them onto a thicker cardstock and save at least one, so you would always have one, you know, for backup. And then you can also trace that onto fabric and cut it out of fabric. And I'm going to be doing that a little bit too in the coming, you know, week or so when I do these videos. So anyway, so I hope that kind of explains what I'm looking at sending out, putting together. So I'm going to do these as $30 bundles. And I would say, you know, it'll be about it'll fit in, I would say, like a padded priority envelope. Okay. So that gives you an idea of the, you know, quantity, like a, you know, in a big paper envelope, probably won't go over a pound. If I go over a pound, then I can't ship it first class, but it will ship first class with tracking. So, yeah, so let me know if you would like one of those bundles, and I will send you an invoice via PayPal, so we can do that via PayPal. And so you'll get the fabric and embellishment bundle plus the digital, either printed out or sent to you via email, so you'll have a digital copy. Now, if I send it to you, if you tell me that you don't have a printer and you can't print it, and you want me to send that to you, you could always take a picture of it, and that way if you get a printer or if you want to take it somewhere and have it printed, you could do that. All I ask is that you please don't sell them. That's all. But I think they're pretty cool, to be honest. This one that is, some of you guys might recognize it. This pocket right here. This actually is from a pocket that I had in some ephemera, and it was a pocket that was in an envelope that said on the envelope, "Store in the car." And what it is it's a drinking cup. So it was made out of like a plasticized kind of paper, and so it's actually for drinking out of, you know. So you would fill it with water, and, you know, you could drink out of it, which I thought was really cool. It was like from the 20s, you know. Anyway, so I just kind of traced out the outside of it, and then I've been able to use it to make really cool pockets. So anyway, I printed some onto some vellum, and it worked pretty well on vellum. I even tried drinking out of it, and it did hold water. So anyway, okay guys, so let me know. I'll put my email address in the description, and I'll link that video of Karla's so that you can see it. And yeah, thanks for watching, and I look forward to hanging out with you guys a little bit more now that I kind of have everything set up and reorganized and I'm feeling inspired. So, okay, any questions? Leave it in the comments, or you can just send me an email. Okay? All right, love you guys. Bye for now.